Abstraction is what happens when a human trapped in the circus loses all hope, sanity, and sense of self, transforming into a hideous, glitchy monster. There are 13 abstracted characters in total, and today we're covering every single one of them, starting with Kofmo. Kofmo was the clown before Pomni arrived. His abstracted form is the first one we see. In the pilot, everyone goes to check on him. They find his room covered in exit drawings, crazy writing, weird maps, and really strange symbols. Kofmo had already mutated into the scary beast Pomni is seen running from. Before that, he was part of Jax and Ribbit's closest circle. He entered the game years after Kinger and tried his best to make everyone laugh. We see him for hot chocolate with them. He got hurt when Ribbit said he wasn't funny. The sad problem, really at its core, was that nobody ever really laughed, despite his best attempts at jokes, and that rejection hurt him deeply. After Ribbit turned into a monster, Jax shut Kofmo out too. Kofmo twistedly believed there had to be an escape. When Kofmo started looking for the exit even harder, Jax just ignored him. Kofmo's mind kept chasing the exit until the idea destroyed him. By Pomni's arrival, he was the 12th abstraction. Queenie. Queenie has one of the saddest stories in the whole series. She was the digital copy of Destiny Best, who was Kinger's real-world wife and a fellow CNA worker. Her avatar became a graceful maroon queen chess piece. She matched Kinger's king form so perfectly that the circus almost looked like it was making fun of their marriage. When Queenie and Kinger first appeared in the game, they recognized each other before they could remember their names. Kinger apologized for bringing her into it. He dragged in the person he loved most. For 8 long years, Queenie was Kinger's rock. She was smart, strong, and deeply caring. She loved bugs, which is the reason Kinger still holds on to bug facts as one of his dear memories. Near the end, Queenie knew she was losing her mind. Darkness helped calm her down. She turned into a monster in 2007. The darkness softened her sharp form enough for Kinger to touch her one last time inside the pillow fort. She became the last of the original group to fall. It broke Kinger and left him alone until Ragatha appeared. Ribbit. Ribbit is one of the most important abstracted characters. Her story directly ends up explaining what happened to Jax. Taking the tall, green form of a frog, Ribbit was incredibly kind and understanding. She had pie-cut eyes and a funny warmth that cut through the circus better than most. She became Jax's absolute best friend. She broke right through his tough outer shell. Ribbit and Kofmo shared hot chocolate with Jax. Ribbit comforted Jax and even gave him her bow as a promise that they could always trust each other. She opened up about her own broken family. She carried pain from the outside world. Jax couldn't handle being seen that clearly. He acted cold and treated his own sad confession like a joke. He later had a loud, angry fight with her on a snowy mountain. That heavy stress pushed Ribbit over the edge. She turned into a monster in 2016 from loneliness and rejection. Her crossed-out door became the wound Jax never healed from. Scratch. Scratch holds the dark title of being the first digital copy to turn into a monster in the history of the digital circus. In the real world, he was a super smart computer programmer named Mike Dobby. He was one of the top creators of the C&A virtual game. He helped build the same system that later trapped his own copy. Scratch had a sad secret in the real world, as he was dying from a brain tumor. C&A tried to save minds by making memory backups. On October 15, 1999, Scratch's scan became one of the first files Kane could run. His avatar took the cartoon shape of a thin yellow dog. He looked like a happy computer helper, but a dying man's panic hid underneath. Scratch spent 3 awful years trying to hack the main code from the inside to free himself and Kinger. Kane saw his mind breaking and tried to fix him by forcing happiness onto him. That only made things worse. When Scratch realized the prison was impossible to escape, he completely lost his mind. His monster change in 2002 showed everyone that even a creator could disappear into the machine. Jax. Jax becomes the 13th known monster and the last major fall by episode 9. For most of the series, he acts untouchable. Taking the form of a tall, skinny, purple rabbit, he hides his pain by being a total jerk. He steals keys, breaks Gangle's mask, mocks Kofmo, and treats danger like a fun game. But we keep seeing his cracks. His face changes when he sees Kofmo and Ribbit's doors. In the beach episode, their faces appear in his dream world. His own face joins them as his eyes start looking close to a monster change. We see him imagining Kofmo, Ribbit, and Pomni laughing around him in his personal nightmare. This peels away the rabbit act to show the scared person underneath. In fact, the end fully reveals his tale of tragedy. Ribbit, Kaufmo, and Pomni all mattered more to him than he wanted to admit. In the end, Pomni reaches the real Jax and hears him admit that he doesn't want to go. But his guilt wins. He abstracts and the group cannot cure him. But they remember Queenie. Darkness calmed the monsters, the circus took its victims, but this time, the survivors refused to throw them away. Instead of burying him in the cellar, they built him a large pillow fort tent to keep him calm in the darkness. Then, by the end of the finale, he's moved to the aquarium along with Ribbit, Kofmo, Queenie, and the others. Wormo. Wormo was part of the first C&A group copied into the circus with Scratch, Kinger, Queenie, Bisco, Ratty, and Spike. His avatar was a worm on a string. This was one of the most uncomfortable bodies in the early cast. He didn't have proper arms or legs. He was just a toy body forced to live through Kane's impossible games. His design made it pretty clear that the circus is never satisfied. It steals your memory, identity, and control, sure, but it also deprives you of the basic shape of a human body. To Wormo, every adventure made it pretty clear that his existence was nothing but a total joke. After Scratch went first, Wormo became even more early proof that the original brain scans were failing one by one. Wormo fell sometime before Queenie, though the show makes it a point to not show us his exact final moment, probably because it would be too depressing to see. Spike was another member of the original 1999 C&A group. His door icon and early design show him as a purple dinosaur toy with bright spikes. This body looks like a harmless and funny joke until you remember a real person's copy was trapped inside it, who still thinks of themselves as a real human. Spike entered during the earliest and roughest version of the digital circus. Kane had built a colorful world, but he still barely understood the people inside it. Scratch had already asked the most important question about how to get out. The system kept running and the games kept coming. Spike's full personal breakdown remains a secret even until the end, but his place is very much clear as one of the first 7. He saw Scratch become a monster, and he watched the original cast shrink. Then he followed the same path before Queenie. He left another crossed-out door behind. Ratty was the tiny plush mouse of the original group. She had blue coloring, pink details, and a little red flower. She looked soft enough to belong beside Ragatha. The circus gave her a body made for comfort, while placing her inside the worst place possible. Ratty's fate is very creepy when you think about it. A plush body can look cute forever, while the mind inside keeps rotting. She was a C&A worker copy trapped from the first wave. She was surrounded by people who were slowly losing themselves. The circus only needed time, fake safety, and a body that could smile while the person inside broke, becoming yet another one of its victims. Bisco was one of the strangest members of the original cast. His avatar looks like a mix of a jester, an egg, and a clock. The design almost feels cruel on purpose. He was a person stuck in a world as a clock, even though there wasn't any time of the day he could head home. Bisco came from the same first C&A scan group. He lived through the time when Kane was still shaping the circus around old brain files. Kane forced the copies through his idea of fun. Bisco would have seen Scratch vanish, then watched the other early victims lose their minds before Queenie. Bisco's exact final scene is off-screen, but the clock on his body must have struck at the time of his doom. By quite literal design, every moment pushed him closer to becoming another monster in the dark. The 4 unnamed later abstractions. The 4 unnamed later abstractions appeared after Queenie vanished. Kinger was alone for a long time. Then Ragatha arrived. She was the first new human copy after the original C&A group. The circus kept filling itself after that. 4 more victims eventually joined after Ragatha and became monsters before Ribbit. Their names are still unknown, and they are merely ghosts in the story. What we do know is that one was a pink fluffy cyclops. One was a yellow clown creature with a sad face and a blue neck ruff. One was a blue oyster or clam character. One was a light green creature with an orange bow and a weird outfit. The circus didn't even bother showing their identities for the audience. What it did make sure to show is the fact that they failed to survive.